Hello and welcome. I'm Timothy, and today I've got a few tips and tricks for interacting with your table view in ArcGIS Pro. Here in ArcMap, I have a tax parcels layer that has been added, and I've got the attribute table open. With the attribute table open, you can access a lot of different information here about your table. The table here, if you hover over, you can see some quick information about your individual fields as you go to each individual one. You can see the type, you can see if it's read-only and things of that nature. Another way that you can actually access the properties of your fields is by going up and clicking under your feature layer data, and there's the fields under design. This will open up a new window, and you can quickly see all of your fields in your table. You can see your field name, your alias, and things of that nature that describe each individual field. Now, with your table open, sometimes it opens up and you can't see all of your data. For example, the legal description. It's getting cut off. I can hover over and see individuals, but that's not what I want. So I'm going to click at the top in between the fields. You'll notice that my cursor changes to two arrows with a line in the middle. If I click and drag, I can actually expand this out. Either way, I can make it smaller or larger. It's not quite what I want, and go a little bit further. There we go. Now I can see the entire legal description. Now, that kind of helped, but I kind of eyeballed it based upon the 22 records that I have here. Now, let's say you don't know how wide all of the records maybe have, depending on the size of the data. Well, if you double click instead of single clicking and drag, it will automatically expand it to the largest field value. Now, if you want to do this to multiple columns, all you got to do is hold down the Shift key if you want them, if they're all kind of touching each other, or if you want to do them not touching each other, you can use the Control key and select multiple fields. Now, let me go in and just select these three fields here. I've got the acreage, tax year, and description. Now, if I was to click and drag, they will all expand to the same size that I've dragged on that one. Now, if I double click, they will change to the width of specific data in each column. Now, of course, you can interact with each field or row individually through a context menu. So let me go back and select tax year. And if I right click, you can see that I can sort, I can hide the field, freeze the field, do some field calculations, calculate geometry, summary. I can get to that fields view a little easier, or I can actually delete the field. Over in the row, I can right click to the right of the row and do a few things here, such as flash. I can zoom to, such as that, zoom straight to that parcel. You can see pop-ups. So if I do the pop-up here, I can easily see that. So if I want to hold that up and I kind of look at that information, I can say, okay, that makes sense. I can also do a pinned pop-up, and what it does, it actually allows me to open up multiple pop-ups, and I can easily compare them and look them up and drag them to other screens, and they don't go away. Let me close these up. Of course, you can also do selection and unselect, and you can also delete the row. Now, sometimes you have a lot of fields in your data set. And for example, here, if I scroll over to the right, you see there's a lot of fields. Now, if I wanted to keep, let's say, I need to look at the address, but I also want to see the parcel ID, the parcel number here, and I have to kind of scroll back and forth. Within Pro, you can actually go in and freeze these fields. So as I showed earlier, I can right click and do freeze. That will drag it all the way to the left hand side. And now when I go to the right, that individual field stays there. You can right click and do unfreeze. Of course, when you unfreeze, it does not put it back in the correct order that you had it previously. It has it over to the left. Of course, you can drag it over and you can put it back where you would like to have it. This also applies to multiple fields. So I can select the parcel number and the pin. I can right click and do freeze, and it moves them all over. Now I can scroll over. I'm going to unfreeze these fields, and I'm going to move them back in place. Now, as you see, you can actually drag fields around. So I want to move them around. I can move them around. Now, of course, this is only within the view of this particular table. It doesn't actually save in the actual feature class itself or a standalone table. Now, maybe you want to see just a few of your fields and you want to hide some things. So, for example, in my object IDs and shapes and all that, that's not anything that I really need right now. Well, I can right click and do hide field. I can also select multiple fields using either the shift or control keys, right click and hide field, and it'll hide both of them. Now to get them back, I can come over here to this hamburger icon or these options, the menu options here, and click on them, and I can go back to show all fields. There's also some other information here. You can go specific row number, you can do a find and replace. There's a lot of different options here that's kind of hidden within this hamburger menu. I'm going to click show all fields, and you'll see that they've come back together. I hope that these tips for interacting with the table view in ArcGIS Pro were helpful, and that you'll be able to use them in your daily workflows to be a little more productive and quickly and easily access the information within tables that you're looking for. If you want to learn more on attribute tables, check out this playlist. And as always, thanks for watching.